Hi there, and welcome to It's funny, right? Start off with a blooper.
I love it. We were just talking about
We
bloopers.
were?
This is perfect. So let's try that again.
Yeah, let's try that again. Hi there, and welcome to Essential Oil Talk Radio with Marc and Nikki, where we talk about all kinds of ways to use essential oils for healthy living. Our special guest today is Jen O'Sullivan, who's one of the largest online educators for essential oils with over 220,000 Facebook followers. I'm very excited about this. I've been looking forward to this for a long time.
Same here. And our community is excited about it. That's cool. So hello and welcome to the show. My name's Nikki Holland. As I just said, I'm excited to be here. My story this week is a bit of a love story. Now, I have to tell you, I fell in love with peppermint oil all over again this past week. Now, I'll be celebrating my 48th birthday. I know. It's a little difficult.
See, you never told me how old you were.
Yeah,
I'm just
my
now
48th
getting this
birthday
information.
in a few weeks. And some things are starting to go on with my body. And I'm like, what's that about? So the other night I woke up. It was a little sweaty in the nape of my neck, right? So I got up and peppermint oil to the rescue. I rubbed it on the back of my neck. And within, 45 seconds, this cooling sensation kind of took over my body. And then a few days later, I was in a little crowd, not really a crowd, maybe 10 or 12 people. And I'm talking. I'm like, are you guys hot? Hey, is it hot in here? Are you guys hot? And they're like, no, it's just you, Nikki. Thanks. Well, I knew what was coming on, and I was like, okay. I busted out the peppermint oil, again, the back of my neck, and it just really helped me to gain control of that situation that I was about to go through that I didn't go through. Thank you, Jesus. So there is my love story with peppermint oil.
Yeah.
And I want to talk a little bit about a love story. So if you have a love story, if you are getting married, if you have a baby on the way, you're probably going to need some health insurance, and that's where our sponsor, Josh Dixon, comes in for this week. I know you guys know Josh is an expert in the health insurance field, and he has access to over 200 different insurance companies, so he can get you the coverage that you need. If a baby's on the way, if it's in your future, you're going to need good health insurance. So give him a call today, 210-860-2525, or you can find him at healthinsurancesanantoniotx.com.
All right. So we got a question from a listener, and I think it's very appropriate for Jen O'Sullivan joining us today. I'm going to do my best to answer it, and we'll see what she has to say about it a little bit later. No, Mark, that's all wrong. You got it wrong. I'm just kidding. So the question is, are essential oils safe to take internally? Which is a really good question. I think we touched on this a little bit before, but the short answer is that they are. But you always want to use high-quality essential oils. Okay, now you guys know that I use Young Living. I don't keep it a secret. Because I've been to several of their farms. I've seen their process, and I'm totally on board with using those oils. So today, this morning, if you guys are watching on video, I've got my little mug here that I got when I was a police officer. I retired last year, but anyway, I've got bergamot in my water. And I'm actually trying it for the first time because of the conversation we had with Jen O'Sullivan. Bergamot was one of the oils that she had mentioned, so I was excited to try that. So when you guys are looking for oils to take internally, whether it's a capsule or in your water or food or whatever, you want to make sure, and again, if you're watching on my video, eotalkradio.com, you can see the video, there's a label. They're white labeled essential oil bottles, and if you peel this back here, you can actually see that it gives you instructions on how to take them internally. So that's kind of nice. So you want to look for that. Make sure that you're taking ones that don't say, if you ingest it, call poison control.
Right.
Yeah,
Somebody
you don't
call
want those for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So why would you take oils internally? People may think, well, food, right? We want to flavor our food, spaghetti, stuff like that.
Or water.
Or our water, exactly what I'm doing today. So just some ideas on that. Now, what about coffee? Have you ever used essential oil in coffee?
You know I have. Peppermint mocha. I can make them at home better than anywhere down the street.
And cinnamon is actually popular as well. But the deal on cinnamon is you want to use a toothpick. Put the toothpick in the bottle, take it out, and just stir it, because one drop's too much for a cup of coffee for sure. So anyway.
Yeah, awesome. I'm going to have to try the cinnamon. I haven't tried that in the coffee before. I've tried it in some like Russian friendship tea. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but one of the main ingredients is cinnamon. So I'm going to definitely try that. So my recipe this week is going to have you say, what the kale? I made kale chips this week. It was the first time I'd done this in a very, very long time. I tried it a few years ago. I was like, yeah, no, goodbye. See ya. It went into that round, what's it called? Oh, a trash can. Yeah, that's where it went. So this week's recipe, you're going to cut up your kale. You're going to make sure it dries. So wash it, dry it, and then cut it up. And then you're going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Now, some people add bacon grease. I know, that just like takes the health right out of it, or maybe it doesn't.
Maybe
Depends
it
on
adds to it. Vitamin B for bacon.
it definitely. I like it. I like it. I think we should bottle that up. We could make tons of money. Bacon oil, essential. It is essential, isn't it? So anyway, you got 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I did 1 drop of lime essential oil, 1 drop of lemon essential oil, and mixed that up. And then I poured that over the kale. I put that on my cookie sheet. I baked it at 325 for 10 minutes. And you know what? They were very, very good. It wasn't like, oh, I don't think I like this. Now, my 8-year-old, she wasn't a fan. My 20-year-old was like, you know what, Mom? I'll be honest, that's not bad. So that's pretty good from a 20-year-old.
Sure. I
Not,
mean, when you
not
compare
bad.
it to the potato chips you buy at the store,
Absolutely.
as
And then
far
my
as flavor.
husband was like, oh, perfect. I'll put that on my double cheeseburger. So he did eat a little bit. And then my other little recipe is going to be a diffuser recipe. Now, I've never given a diffuser recipe on our show, but I wanted to do this because this week I totally cheated the system when it came to cleaning my house. Someone walked in and they're like, oh my gosh, it's so clean. It smells so clean in here. What'd you do? And I'm like, I turned on my diffuser. And that's what I did. I diffused 4 drops of lemon and 4 drops of pine.
Oh,
and
wow.
that combination just has this really, really clean smell. So I'm like, I'm cheating the system all summer on this thing.
Well, and people are used to the pine sol from back in the day. I mean, that's what
It's
was
true.
used when I grew up.
That's one of those scents where you're like, oh, that smells clean. And it does. Mix it with lemon. I tell you, you guys are going to absolutely love it.
So back to the bacon grease thing for just a second. So I don't know why exactly, but all over my social media timeline keeps popping up. They've taken a bottle of essential oil and they put bacon
Yeah.
on it or bacon grease on it. It's hilarious.
It's too funny.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, do you really sell that? I'm like, come on. I mean, could you see us distilling a pig? That's funny.
Maybe over barbecue or
There
something.
you go.
All right, so I'm going to talk about a couple of upcoming events that we've got. As you guys know, I go out in the community. That's where I like to office, is out of the community. And I'm going to be out at La Taza Coffee Shop again on Tuesdays. It's kind of my regular stop. I love it out there. The people are, Karina, the owner, she's super friendly. It's a family operation. But I'm going to be there from 10 to 12. And this is a time where I just hang out. You guys can come talk coffee, talk oils. And then I'll have my health scanner there with me. So if you guys want to do that, it takes about 10 minutes. So make sure you budget for time on that. And if you guys want to find out where I'm at throughout the day, throughout the week, just check our website at eotalkradio.com and find out where I'm going to be at. Come out and see me. Say hi.
Yeah, I'm actually having an event on April 11th. Now, that's Thursday night. It's going to be at the Frost Tower downtown at 6 p.m. There's a $10 cover charge. It's kind of fancy. There's a dress code. There's champagne. There's food. There's fun. I can't wait to be there. So you guys come out and see me and check out my oils.
So I'm going to be at a coffee shop, and she's going to be at some kind of gala.
Yes,
it's going to be fantastic and
that's
fabulous.
That's awesome. And I always like to encourage our listeners and our viewers to try essential oils, right? Don't just buy them, let them sit around. So I just want to say, if you are a woman dealing with the issues I just talked about a little bit earlier, and you want to contact me and see how essential oils can fit in your life, email me, Nikki Holland. No, it's not. I don't even know my email address. Too much bacon this morning. It's nikki@eotalkradio.com, and we can go over some things like that. Also, check out our blog. We have DIYs. We have recipes on there. I'll put all those up there. And, just an easy way, again, to encourage you to use those oils. Put a drop or 2 in your water. You're going to love it.
And just so you know, if I want to hang out with Nikki, I have to send her an email as well and do the
That's right.
request. Yeah. She's kind of big time.
I almost blocked them. Go ahead.
All right, as we get closer to our main segment here, I want to talk about a couple of sponsors here that really kind of help us carry this message out in the community, help us fund this radio show, and that is the San Antonio Empowerment Council. They're hosting a fantastic essential oil workshop that includes a class on essential oils with pets. That's a super popular one. It's been requested over and over and over, and they are bringing it to the community in May, as well as how to clean your home using essential oils. And that's popular. We don't think about, we just talked about diffusing oils, right, because we're used to certain smells, but essential oils are actually really good at cleaning the home. It's fantastic. So if you guys want to find out when that's going to be, visit our website at eotalkradio.com where we'll have some information, or visit San Antonio Empowerment Council's Eventbrite page at saecevents.com. And then Erica Slayton with Wallach and Volk. Erica is a mortgage advisor, and she customizes the right home for your family and has been doing loans right here in San Antonio for 23 years. Wallach and Volk has been in business since 1932. She's a close friend of mine. In fact, I just posted on our page a picture of us here at the radio station. She's going to be on again later in April, where we're going to be talking about hormone health. So she's definitely an essential oil
perfect. I love
fan.
talking with her. She's very, very knowledgeable.
Yeah, she is. All right. Well, if we've got Jen O'Sullivan on, Jen, are you there?
Yeah, how are you guys doing?
We're doing great. We're having a good time here at the radio show. We thought it'd be fun to start out with a blooper, so we did that. But let me just introduce Jen O'Sullivan for our listeners who don't know who she is, which is probably not very many because she's so popular. She is a best-selling author who has written 7 books. Matter of fact, if you're watching on the video, I'm holding one of her books right now. And Jen, just so you know, it's The Young Living Lifestyle Vitality. I'm not sure if I said that right. It could be Vitality, The Young Living Lifestyle with Jen O'Sullivan. And you know what?
Yep.
It's actually got your signature on it right here. You autographed it.
Very good. I love it.
I'm going to put it on eBay.
No, you're not.
I'm just kidding.
All right. She's one of the largest online educators for essential oils with over 220,000 Facebook followers. The group is called The Human Body and Essential Oils, which you can find through her website at jenosullivan.com. Now, I know she's passionate about helping people use essential oils the right way as a part of a healthy lifestyle. We're going to get into that a little bit during the segment. So welcome, and we're excited to have you here.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
So how were you introduced to essential oils?
Well, I was on a flight to become a healthier version of me when we decided to bring another human into the world.
Oh, yes.
So that happened at around 2007, where I was literally just going from, place to place trying to figure out what to do. And I was at one of those weird networking things. I was a photographer for many years, and there was this woman there who was like showing all of these little nail polishes. And I thought, what in the world are these little nail polishes? Because they just looked like little nail polishes to me. And she was showing me, I remember her showing me Gentle Baby, and she told me the price, and I was like, what? Because, we were, newlyweds and didn't have a lot of money at the time, and I was like, oh, no way. And then I started looking into it a little bit more, and she taught me like full class. I got another class from her, and then I just decided to go for it. So in 2007, I bought the essential oils to use for my baby, and so that was really how I got started.
Okay, and I know that you're a certified in French Medicinal Aromatherapy. So what is that first, and then what motivated you to seek that certification?
Yeah, well, I used oils basically on an island, I like to call it. Like, I didn't realize there was such a huge community of essential oil users. I took it kind of like, you use the brand of toothpaste you use, I use the brand of my toothpaste. I don't sit there and kind of promote it to you. So oils to me just were like a daily part of my life. And then I found out many years later, this was 3.5 years ago from today, that like a lot of my friends were using essential oils and they were using them incorrectly, getting sick from over-consuming, consuming oils like in a lot, over-consuming oils like tea tree, like a lot of tea tree, doing things that were just sort of odd to me, and I'd never learned that. I'd never learned that way, and so I kept asking them, like, who's telling you this? And they were all basically new distributors who didn't know any better. So for me, I really, really needed to figure out, like, what's the real science behind these things? How can I help people? Because I'm a helper. I love teaching. I've been an educator practically my whole life. And I really thought, okay, I need to understand this for myself, but also be able to help others. So I looked around and tried to find a course on consumption. And lo and behold, there was none. Like, no aromatherapy school in the United States teaches on consumption. They're actually against it. So I was really frustrated, and I kept searching and searching, and I finally came across the New York Institute for Aromatic Studies, and they actually teach the French method of aromatherapy. And they're a NAHA certified school, and I contacted the owner and explained to her my concerns, that I didn't want to be like somebody who was, looked down upon because I consume, And she said, no, that's actually what we are trying to do. We're trying to bridge that gap and help people understand consumption is amazing, and it's not something that should be looked at as scary. And if you know how to do it right, and it's not too hard to learn, by the way, then go for it, because it's phenomenal. And so I felt like I needed to be certified in French medicinal aromatherapy, which is generally speaking the art of consumption, so that I could be like held up as somebody that would know what she's talking about. I feel like, we live in a world full of people who need to say, well, what are you certified in? And so it's one of those things where I agree at some level we need a certain level of education to be spewing off so much advice and to know that what's right and wrong. the sad reality is the majority of the aromatherapy industry, not direct sales or distributors, stuff like that, but the traditional aromatherapy industry in the United States teaches against consumption, and they teach against it emphatically, which is absolutely 100% wrong.
So what would somebody has a reaction if they're doing it wrong, right? If they're doing too much or some of the ways they're doing it wrong, what would be something that would happen with them? What should they look for?
Well, interestingly enough, it's hard to say that this is the exact response, but a lot of times your body starts to reject it. Just like if you were to eat 10 oranges a day, every day, in about 60 to 70 or even 80 days, your body would start telling you, please stop, and you'd start having like a reaction, right? I mean, just if you think in general terms with food, it's the same thing, even though there's no nutritional value in oils, it's the same concept. You're getting massive quantities, massive doses of phytonutrients, phytochemicals, that's plant chemicals, and it's the same thing if you ate too much of any one food. And so your body, it depends. So I can't tell you what they should expect, but a lot of times it's just they reject it. So that means a lot of times it shows in the form of rashes. The problem with the rash analogy, though, or the rash response, is that 9 times out of 10, the rash is because that person is stressed out or something has changed in their life to cause them to stress. And oils and stress don't mix real well, and you end up getting rashes. So, I always ask people, like, are you stressed or have you been over-consuming? It's really a two-part question.
Oh, I see. So if somebody is having some kind of reactions, what would you recommend that they do?
Well, it depends on why they're having that reaction. If it's stress related, then let's just figure out how they can calm down and take a break and go on vacation or do some prayer, meditation, something like that. But as far as if it's an overconsumption, if it is a true overconsumption reaction, what I mean by that is let's say they were taking 40 drops of oregano every single day for like a year. And now all of a sudden they're just like body's inflamed and they can feel it like nothing. Every time they use oregano or any oil for that matter, they break out in rashes and hives. That is something where they would need to actually stop all essential oil use something like sulfurzyme to help flush their body out a little bit, drink lots of water. And the reality is they actually would need to stop using all essential oils for about 120 days. But, you don't have to. And what I mean by stop all essential oil use, generally speaking, that means stop consuming. You can usually still use aromatic in a cold water diffuser. You can still use like your face serums that you've made that are really highly diluted. But just listen to your body. That's what I tell all my students is you have to listen to your body and don't keep working through it. I think some people tell each other like, oh, just keep working through it. Your body will adjust. It might just be detox. That's bad advice because it could be a actual negative response.
So what kind of things, as far as internal use goes, would you expect, or what would be some reasons why people are taking, or what combinations of oils that people would be taking internally?
That would cause a negative response?
No. This is, if somebody is, why would somebody use essential oils internally at all? For example, like maybe give me an oil and then maybe link it to maybe some kind of support for the body.
Okay. Yeah. Basically speaking, if you're going to use internal oils, first of all, I heard you mention earlier in the show, like make sure they're high quality oils. I don't even say that with people. I say it has to be labeled for consumption. Young Living is one of the only companies that actually, and I would even go so far as to say they're the only United States company that has an entirely full line, like a full line, meaning it's a very large line of dedicated consumable oils, and it's called the Vitality line. And that line, we can actually use them to support our systems. So, and I know you guys know this, but for your audience, it's internal use for your immune system or for hormonal support or for cardiovascular support, your circulatory system, your digestive system. And so we do various things in consuming, anywhere from just a simple recipe of putting 1 drop of peppermint and 2 drops of lemon in your water just once a day can drastically help support your circulatory system. I've heard of old women, right? I joke, so I'm getting up there, Nikki, right there with you. It's like, come on. But as you know, once you have babies and kids and once you start getting older, going number one is a little slower of a process than when we were 18. And so it's interesting because by using lemon, I love it when my older customers say to me, what in the world's going on? I feel like I'm eliminating more fully. Like they feel good when they're going to the bathroom now. Like it just comes out like it used to. So that's a really fun thing, right? When you're like, wow, I feel better. My body feels cleaner. And so that's a simple use. But a lot of people use balms. We do like health balms, immunity balms, respiratory balms, things that will help your internal functions by using capsules. So that's the most common way of actually supporting your system.
And that's what you mean by balm. You're talking about the capsule that's fully loaded and ready to go. And that's what you're taking.
Yeah. And that's the thing about a balm. When we call it a balm, we mean that there's more oils than normal, like meaning you're using more than normal, and you're using it one time, like maybe twice, like maybe nighttime and then in the morning, but you're not doing a balm every single day. And I think people get confused about that because if you balmed your system every single day, you'd be overdoing it. And so like I look at like Inner Defense, which is a capsule that Young Living provides, that's technically a balm. And so using that every single day, like for 365 days a year, if that was the only internal thing you did ever, that would be fine. That's about 9 drops of essential oils with about 4 drops of carrier. So that's actually totally fine. But if but your body gets used to it. So we want to really use them in an organic way. Like you approach your food, like you stand at the refrigerator, you open the door and you think, what do I want right now? You don't eat the same thing every single day. I mean, some of you might, but generally speaking, we want to kind of support our body from a rotation perspective. So we want to rotate those oils.
Now you mentioned a carrier oil. Is there times when maybe you would use a carrier oil in a balm and times when you wouldn't? And what would be the difference?
Well, I do know many of my students tell me, Jen, I can use balms with 0 carrier oil. The reason I say that's not wise to share is that you might be able to, but the general population can't. And what I mean by can't is you could put something like a citrus oil, which should be technically fine, right? Like it's not a technically burning oil. Like you could take grapefruit. And if you put 14 drops in a capsule without carrier oil, you most likely, if you've never used oils internally before, will have a very harsh, what I consider it feels like heartburn for about 15 minutes. And so carrier oils is a safe practice. And every capsule that Young Living carries that has neat essential oils in them, meaning it's fully essential oil, has carrier oil in it. You can, put the capsules in the refrigerator and take them out after a few hours, and you'll actually see the little plume of smoke in there. It's carrier oil. It's about 4 drops of carrier oil.
So what kind of carrier oil would you recommend that folks use if they're going to make balms?
Anything internal is fine. So you could use your carrier oil that is your olive oil from your, cooking oil is totally fine.
Not bacon grease?
Yeah, not bacon grease.
Okay.
I mean, you could. You could just pop that off with a little spatula and break bacon grease. But no, that would be gross. But it would do the same trick. It literally would be the same thing. So it's just the fatty part of whatever it is, the olive or the seeds that you're using. So as long as it's organic and like pure and cold pressed, you should be fine. A lot of people use V6 carrier oil from Young Living. V6 is a vegetable oil complex. That means there's, and they've labeled it for you, vegetable 6, meaning there's 6 different carrier oils in there. Someone like me, I actually can't use that carrier because it has wheat germ oil in it, and I'm a celiac. So, you have to know what you're putting in your body. And I remember one time using the V6 in my capsules because it's an easy squirt, just squirt it in there and you're good to go. And I kept thinking, how am I getting gluten? Like, where is this coming from? And it was, lo and behold, just that one tiny little squirt. So do know, just be aware of what you're putting in your body. If you're allergic to coconut oil, don't use coconut oil. Like, be smart. Listen to your body.
Very, very good. All right, so as we come close, we've got to wrap up. I mean, we could talk for hours, I'm sure. Yes. And I know you've got some online stuff that I'd like to get into. Make sure that we tell folks what your courses are. But if you were stuck on an island and you could only bring one essential oil with you, what would that be?
That's hard and easy at the same time. Hard because I have a love affair with so many oils, but easy because straight up, like we often look at lavender as the Swiss Army knife of oils, but that would not be the oil that I would bring because I would want the like Navy SEAL Swiss Army knife of oils, right? So that means not the little red Swiss Army knife that has just a 5 or 6 attachments, but I want the one that's beefed up and has everything. So that oil would be sacred frankincense. And a lot of people don't realize that that is the true, like, real hardcore Swiss Army knife.
Wow. I know we could talk about that for a while.
And I have
Look it
one.
up. Just look up constituents. Yeah.
All right, I have one last question for you. When you are writing, when you're in that mood, when you're in that mode, what do you like to diffuse?
Oh, and I rotate. See, I'm a big contender of rotation. I don't use the same thing twice. So I go to my oil wall and I pick what I'm feeling. So it's just, Gary taught this to us all the time. Stand in front of your oils and see what's calling to you. So sometimes it's simply just putting some drops of stress away in. Occasionally I'll put like 4 drops of valor and 2 drops of sandalwood, sacred sandalwood, which is just such a beautiful fragrance. I use Melissa a lot, and there's just a lot of really cool oils that I have on my wall that I use. But peppermint, lavender, and lemon is a good one, right? Lavender, lemon, and peppermint, LLP, we all call it. Really good for just clarity and cleaning the air out, and it just makes you feel good.
All right, awesome. So for our listeners who want to connect with you and learn from your courses, where should they go?
Well, my main website, jenosullivan.com, is really just a landing page that tells you how to get a hold of me, meaning like all the different spaces that I'm at. I've got an Instagram page, pretty much everywhere. Any internet thing I'm on. So I would say for sure, though, get into my main group, which is the Human Body and Essential Oils, which I know you already listed. But we also have a really good program that just started this week, which is basically the largest online class featuring a really deep dive into all 600 plus of the Young Living products. Wow. And we have like really amazing speakers like Dr. Ollie. We have Lindsay Elmore. I can go down the list of people. Sure. It's incredible, the people that we have coming in there to speak. So if you want to get in on that, that's a paid course, but it's awesome. So. All
right. Well, that's jenosullivan.com, and we ran all the way up to the end of the show. Jen, we really appreciate you calling in all the way from there, from Southern California. And have a great day. We'll talk to you again soon, I hope. We'd love to have you back.
Thank you, guys. Absolutely. Anytime.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Take care. Bye, guys.